If you could alter one thing about your life,
I wish I could see your notes there ahead of time.
what would you change?
Oh, I mean, I love the times that I've spent with my kids, but they grow so fast. I mean, some of the way along, I thought I would like to spend more time, you know, really getting to know my kids. I think I'm fortunate in that I get to stay home, so I see them. But I just feel like it's never enough. You could always love to spend more time with your kids. But other than that, I don't know that I have anything that I'd really want to change. I mean, we love being here in Milton. This was one of the best decisions we've ever made in our lives. I mean, the community here is tremendous. So, you know, we're lucky in that we haven't had to do that. I know we're doing a big construction project that my husband is working on. In hindsight, we might have hired a few people to help early on. But, you know, it's a great feeling of accomplishment, what we have gotten done there, and seeing, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel has been fantastic. So, you know, it's always easy to say looking back that you might have done something differently, but, you know, we're happy. We're very happy with our lives. We're very lucky in our lives.
Excellent. All right, good. My next question is, what do you like best about Milton? You kind of answered some of that, but what in particular?
For us, I think it's the sense of community that we have here. I mean, I have friends who, you know, are at similar stages in their lives, and they, you know, don't have anything like the sense of community that we experience here in Milton. You know, they live in other towns, or they're busy, you know, working, and they just don't have that feeling when they come home that they even know their neighbors very well. And here, you know, like I said, we moved in the first day, and we had people at our door, you know.
Oh, she moves in on Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
You thought they just liked you.
Exactly.
You thought it was a real neighborly neighborhood.
What kind of candy we were going to give out for years to come, I think. But I mean, really, there were people willing to help. I mean, it's such our particular neighborhood. I live on Capon Street, which is across from Shields Park, off of Elliott, and you know, people are just so helpful. You know, somebody is ill. People are bringing dinners over. You know, somebody has, you know, an issue. When Molly was born, we had this amazing support network that was in place already. People helped us so much. People were helping us with laundry. People were driving me to the hospital for Molly's care. It's just, that's what community is all about for us. And that's, I think, what I find everywhere I go in Milton, that there are neighborhoods like that are all over town, where people are just helping each other, caring about each other, thinking about the neighbors, you know, helping people out. It's just an amazing place, and we are so lucky to be here. That's really why I got involved in helping with the library project, was because I knew just the people that I'd already met, that if we worked together, we could accomplish pretty much anything. And I'm so lucky and grateful that we live here, because it's absolutely the best town I could imagine living in. It really is. I mean, I've only been here for 10 years. I know to some people, I mean, there's some people who have lived here all their lives and they consider 10 years, you know, a tourist passing through. But, you know, I have to say that I feel like this is where we liked this town so much. We intend to stay here for the rest of our lives and raise our children here. And I know a lot of other people have already done that. I mean, they choose to stay here. And the people who are trying to move in, I mean, they want to adopt this town, and they're going to love it as strongly as if they lived here all their lives once they see what this town is all about, I think.
Right, because you see the difference, too.
Yeah.
Maybe if you lived here all your life, some may not appreciate it because they don't have that contrast. Some do, obviously, but everybody's different.
Lucky.
You know?
We're very fortunate to be in this town.
Our neighborhood's better than your neighborhood. My neighbors are the best neighborhoods.
I'll put up my neighborhood against
I don't know, but okay.
We're both fortunate. We're both fortunate.
Drop the gloves. Okay. All right. So tell us, Kat. Well, we've learned a little bit about you. Now let's talk a little bit about the campaign and things.
Okay.
The folks at home probably would like to know question is, what qualities do you feel you possess that make you a good candidate for a Milton selectman?
Oh, okay.
Although I'm sure they heard a lot of the qualities in you already. But
I think one of the strengths maybe that I bring to this is that I did manage my own business for 15 years. I saw the requirement to know in advance how you're going to pay for everything that you're contracting for. I think I also had experience, example here in Milton with the library project, of trying to find creative ways of coming up with financing to fit a problem that we weren't going to be able to ask the taxpayers to have to contribute more to. So I think probably my managerial, and the fact that I'm willing to listen. I think, as much as I'm talking, and I feel like I'm talking a lot here, I really love listening to people, and I think that so many people have so many things that they can bring, and so part of that is consensus building too, recognizing that people want to be heard. They don't necessarily expect people to agree with everything they say, but they want to feel like they're welcomed and that they can sit down and they can tell their piece, and whether it's a criticism or support for a particular issue, that they have been heard and they've had the chance to talk. And I think that's something that made us successful in the library project, was the input that we got from everybody along the way, and the fact that we wanted everybody included. There wasn't any precinct that we didn't want to know what they thought about this and how we could make the plan better. And that's what worked with the library project. We had kids selling lemonade. We had seniors helping us out, hand literature out. It was across the town. It was such a fantastic experience. And my part is done because I set the goal of getting this plan in place and raising the money to do it. And now it's been handed off to the library building committee, whose job it is to actually build the building. And they're doing a heck of a job. I have to say, they're holding the architect's feet to the fire. They are making sure that it's going to be value engineered and we are not going to have to ask for more money. I mean, it's really a tremendous experience. And what I brought maybe was the idea that I know we can do better. I know we can economize. I know there are methods of efficiency that we're not experiencing that we could be. We made the new library something where we wouldn't have to add staff to it. I mean, thinking ahead and making those plans are what made that a success. And what I did in my career was be involved in planning, finding ways that we're going to come up with the money to pay what we need to do by recognizing that you have to treat anyone else's money as if it's your own. You have to recognize that you're not going to ask anyone else to pay for something that you don't feel should be paid for. And when people gave money to the library, they're expecting quality for every single dollar. And that's what I think we can give them. And that's what my experience has been. And it's what I bring to the table here, I think.
Very good. Next question. Obviously, your opponent, Mr. Mullen, is well known in the community. Mm-hmm. Having served many years, I believe this is his 6th year now, or finishing his 6th, and then he was 9 years in the past, I think I heard him say the other day. What do you think is the main reason that some voters will vote for Mr. Mullen? Besides his close personal friends, they would do it just because they're friends. What do you think is going to be the main reason that some people are going to vote for him?
I think generally that people are afraid of change. And I mean, this is a tremendous community, and I think no one would like to see change, but I think some people might vote for him because he has said on numerous occasions that we're not going to see change. He likes the way things are going. He feels that they're going well. So I think for people who don't want to see any difference in Milton, they might choose to vote for him. I think what I bring is no disrespect whatsoever to the work that he's done. I mean, he's volunteered for years and deserves our thanks for that. But I think I just have a different way of looking at it. I don't think we're doing as well. I see every spring that we have another financial crisis facing us, and I see that from year to year, the firefighters in town and the police in town don't know that they're going to have a job the following year, and that feeling of insecurity seems to be growing instead of lessening each year. So that's the difference. I think really bottom line difference between the two of us. I don't think that things are going as well. And I'm concerned that if we don't make a plan now, then in 3 years from now, we're going to be faced with situations of having to take what people offer us in terms of development instead of being able to say no and plan ahead. Mm-hmm. So my goal is to say, right, we got to start now. We've got to figure out a plan. We've got to work together. We've got to respect each other along the way. And I think that we can accomplish great things. They don't have to be big things. I mean, they have to be like helping Central Avenue with its revitalization. I think it's pushing ahead on some things like the restaurant at Milton Landing. I think we need some...
And Java Joe's.
Java Joe is a great example. I think there's some things that we can do that are going to help the community as a whole that aren't going to be, they're things that the neighbors really want to see happen. Mm-hmm. And just haven't been happening. The Hendry's building sitting there for 10 years without anything in it.
It's a beautiful structure.
It is. I mean, there's so much potential there. There's a lot of potential in a lot of areas where neighbors are begging for action and just aren't seeing it. And so I think we have to step ahead. In order to preserve what we have to recognize that we're going to have to get some more commercial into this area. But we're also going to have to do it in a way that gets everybody building consensus towards moving forward. Yeah.
We're running out of time.
Okay. Well, this has been wonderful. I appreciate the opportunity.
It was a pleasure having you, and looking forward to seeing the results of the election. And
Great.
Well, it should be fun.
It should be.
Thank you so much for visiting Talk of the Town.
Happy to be here.
And hopefully, after you win the election, if you win the election,
I'd love to come
you'll
back.
come back on Talk of the Town.
Absolutely.
And some of you folks. Oh, what is your website? I'm
The
sorry.
website is www.fagan4milton.org.
FaganforMilton.org.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, this show will be shown just prior to the election, but
Okay.
some of you are going to see this after the election, so it should be interesting to see. Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you very much, Brian.
we'll talk again soon.
Okay.